Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. For today's video I am going to be doing a cozy little library book haul. I haven't done one of these in a little while, so I thought I would do another one because I just got 6 books from the library. 2 of them are graphic novels and one of them is also an audiobook that I checked out on my Overdrive app, but we're going to be talking about all of them today. I do apologize if the lighting is really horrible, but I use natural lighting and it is just a really gloomy day out. It's like some of my favorite weather, like it's the perfect kind of reading weather, but it is not the perfect weather for lighting when it comes to filming videos. So I'm sorry if it's a little bit dark, but it felt like cozy kind of ambiance. Every once in a while you might hear a little bit of thunder outside, so it just seemed like a good time to film a cozy little library book haul. So without further ado, let's jump into the 6 books that I got from the library this month. First up, we have the one I am currently reading, which is I Am C-3PO, The Inside Story by Anthony Daniels. So this is of course his memoir. I think it's going to specifically focus on the time in his filming of the Star Wars movies, which takes place over a lot of time because he was in all 3 of the trilogies. But you guys know I love Star Wars, so I will read any book that is even remotely related to it. I'm only 46 pages into it, so I can't talk too much about it, but so far I'm enjoying it. There have been some pictures included in here as well, which I really liked, so I am excited to read more into this story and the sort of torture that it was to be in this C-3PO costume. I feel like that is the case for a lot of actors that have to wear like full body costumes and stuff like that. Like I know even Jim Carrey in The Grinch had like a torturous time filming that movie, and even like I think the person that originally was supposed to play the Tin Man actually had to be replaced because he had like an allergic reaction to the paint in the costume or something like that. So major props to the people that have to play those parts in movies. The next book that I picked up is The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. This is actually a book that I think I checked out back in January and I never got around to reading it. I returned it and now I have it again. So this is a collection of novellas that goes with the Throne of Glass series. So I think I'm 3 books into that series. I can't remember because it's been a couple months since I've read one of them, but I'm up to the point in the series where people recommend picking up this set of novellas. I don't know exactly when this takes place in the story or who it follows exactly, but I know that I'm at the place in the series where it's recommended to read this, so hopefully I'll get around to reading it this time. The next novel that I checked out might be a little difficult to see on screen, but it is called Tinfoil Butterfly, and this is by Rachel Eve Moulton. So this is just a tiny little, very reflective paperback, and this is a book that I had on my Goodreads TBR for quite a while. I don't remember where I heard about this book from. It is a horror novel, so I want to say it was probably on like Books and Lala's channel because that's where I get 99% of my thriller or horror recommendations. But I just remember this book was described to me as being kind of weird and it caught my attention, so I added it to my Goodreads many months ago, and then as of lately I've been trying to catch up on my Goodreads reading challenge, so I sort through my Goodreads TBR by page count, and this was one of the ones with a shorter page count, so I requested it from the library and I had no idea what it was about, and then when I got it I read the back and I was like, oh, this is a weird little book. So like I said, this is a horror book in which we're following our main character called Emma, who is hitchhiking. She seems to be trying to run from her past. She seems to find herself stranded in this like abandoned, eerie town, and she goes into this deserted diner, and there she encounters Earl, a strange little boy in a tinfoil mask who begs for her help. So that's essentially all the synopsis gives me, but it seems like a, oh my gosh, there's an eye right there. Okay, I didn't even know that that was there the entire time that I have had this book in my possession, which is only like 3 days. But oh my gosh, was my finger like perfectly covering it? Because I did not see that until this very moment. That really spooked me a little bit. But yeah, this seems like a just interesting, strange concept for a book. It's just like a short little paperback as well, so I don't know. I don't know what to expect from this book, but I'm excited to give it a read even more now that this creepy little eye is looking at me. Next up, we have the audiobook that I checked out from my Overdrive app, and that is I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. So this is a book that I'm sure a lot of people have heard about. I feel like I don't even really need to explain to you what it's about, but it is a memoir of her life, specifically like her relationship with her mother, as well as her time working on Nickelodeon TV shows when she was a kid, and just like being being a childhood actor. I have heard about this book everywhere. Like, I can't escape any social media app without hearing about this book, but I've been trying not to like really hear what other people are saying because I really just want to go into it and form my own opinions, because it seems like a lot of people are very opinionated about this book. Some people really like it. They seem to think that it's really important and it touches on a lot of subjects that aren't usually talked about, and it's just very open and real and raw. And some people do seem to think that it's a little bit distasteful, so I'm just trying to avoid other people's opinions about it until I read it for myself, just so I can, you know, form my own opinions about it without being influenced by other people. But I did know when I heard that this book was coming out, because I grew up watching iCarly and Sam and Cat, and I have a feeling that my childhood is going to be a little bit ruined reading this book, but I knew that I wanted to consume this in the audiobook form, which is read by Jeanette McCurdy, because I just feel like that's like the best way for me personally, that I like to consume memoirs. And like even this book, I really wanted to get the audiobook for this, and I requested it from my library back when that book released, and my library still hasn't gotten it, so I decided to just bite the bullet and get the physical copy. But I knew with this book, because it has such a heavy, intense subject, I just wanted to hear it read in her voice and just hear it read the way that she intended it to be read. So I did start this already. I'm a little ways into it, and so far it is very intense, and she does not hold back on the things that she talks about, and she speaks about them very bluntly. But that's all I'm going to say right now. I'm going to save the rest of my thoughts for when I actually finish the book. Now moving on to the 2 graphic novels that I checked out from the library. Again, this is like in my efforts to try and catch up on my Goodreads reading challenge. So both of them are Stranger Things. The first one is Dungeons and Dragons. This, I believe, is book 5 in the Stranger Things like graphic novels series. I read the first 2 back in last month, I guess, and I really enjoyed them, so I wanted to read the rest of them. I'm not reading them like necessarily in order. In fact, I think the fact that I read the first and the second one was literally just a coincidence, but this is the 5th one. I really don't think it matters if I read them out of order. And then the other one that I got is called Into the Fire. This one, I'm a little bit apprehensive about whether I'm actually going to pick it up or not, because if you recognize the character on the cover, she was like a part of the side plot in season 2 of Stranger Things, and I just didn't like that whole side plot of that season at all, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people felt the same. And so I was kind of trying to flip through this book to see if there were like more characters that I recognize that would make me want to pick it up, but for the most part it seems to just follow like her character and other characters that I don't really recognize, so I'm not sure if I'm going to pick this one up or not, but I probably will anyway, just to have another book to add to my Goodreads reading challenge, because I am like 6 books behind right now and I really need to catch up before the end of the year. So yeah, those are all of the books that I got from my library this month. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you've read any of these books, what you thought of them, which ones you think I should prioritize just in case I don't get to all of them. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!